I have a question for you, though.
Yes,
Trace.
sir.
There are many Christians. I know this because they love my show, but they hate it when I say anything complimentary about President Trump. And they hate him. I don't know how Christian and hate can be in the same sentence, but they do. What would you say to those Christians that say, haven't you seen what he tweets? Haven't you seen the news? It's all negative about him. What would you say to those Christians that have made up their mind because of those two things?
Well, number one, I would say prophetically. Now, listen, I have predicted many presidents into office that I didn't really care for them either. But you had to speak, thus saith the Lord. But this is the thing I'm going to say about Trump. You have to follow what he has done for Israel, what he's done for the church. And you have to look at, those are the most essential things you have to look at. Now, if you're going to go look at his character, or you're going to look at his, he's a bully and he manipulates people. Well, if you dissect all of the president from, one thing I would say, Trump had the boldness to speak beyond George Sr. or George Bush or Barack Obama or Bill Clinton. He has the boldness and the audacity to speak out, whether you like him or not. He's not going to just say, hey, this is what I'm going to speak. I'm not going to take it back. So what I would say to those that are in the church world, you want to be very wise, and you want to discern the times in which the church is at. Not where you at personally, but where the church is at. No other president has stood with Israel. No other president has done more for the church, gotten prayer back into church, got the Bibles back into schools. Back into schools. So when you look at Trump,
by the way, he is against child sacrifice, or called today abortion.
Absolutely. He's against that. And the thing about this is, what we're looking at is the person of Trump before he was president. We're not looking at the President Trump. We're looking at Trump as he was a celebrity figure in the world. And so we're thinking that he transitioned from his celebrity position into the president position, and we're not seeing kingdom. My prayer is daily, and even those around Trump, I've voiced my own concerns as well. Even when I was in Honduras, it was the 13th of March. I said he needs to do a National Day of Prayer. I think we taught in Honduras. I said
we did.
And when the 15th, he did the National Day of Prayer on the 15th. So it's not like this president does not listen. But, all right, you said, well, the president he's this and he's doing this and he's doing that. I'm going to tell you what Jesus told the lady that was caught in adultery. You pick up the stone and you start throwing those stones. Are you without sin? You start throwing the stones. Because regardless, Trump is not a pastor. He's not a prophet. He's not an apostle.
But hey, let me give you the $1 million question about him. I know that your wife is African American. I know that you don't have a prejudice bone in your body.
No, sir.
I do not see President Trump as a racist, despite things out of context trying to prove that he is.
But he's not. I'm married to an African-American woman. And this is the thing. Trump is not, you don't like him as a person, not as a president with a kingdom purpose. We are judging him based upon our own prejudice and self-righteousness, instead of saying, you know what, Lord, open my eyes and let me see why he is the president of the United States. Open my eyes why the Bible said, pray for those that God sets as kings. He pulls down, he raises up. So when you work against Trump as a church, as a person, well, I don't agree with this. Well, if you're going through the Democratic Party and you're a pastor, I know this is going to be a hot subject. I'm sure we're going to get something feedback.
Go for it, Tracy.
But, if you're a Democratic, if you're a pastor and you to stand against abortion and get certain things, and you said, no, I'm a vote Democratic. You know what you're doing? You're violating covenant that God set up. Abortion, even in Exodus chapter 1 and chapter 2, it's a sin against God. So what's the greatest damage? Trump and his personality and character, or your self-righteousness and prideful ways? I'm not judging this president based upon character. I'm not judging him based upon his celebrity status. I'm judging based upon what I've heard from God and what he has done for the church and for Israel. And as a prophet, he's already been told, humble yourself, sir, repent. I have been told he has cried in the Oval Office. He has humbled himself. He was led in the Lord's Prayer. They put prayer in the Oval Office, him and Vice President Pence. So what more do you want this president to do?